check. Hello.
Is it working? Test. So I started in sales and trading. I was working on Wall Street, and then Citigroup. That's where I started. And just kind of, I did that for a few years. Wasn't really for me. I wanted to move into more tech space, and so I went to a fintech company for a couple of years, and then was always just kind of into crypto, into DeFi, and then was introduced to Reserve, about in June, or I think.
It's interesting. I mean, they've been trying to do their thing for since 2017.
Mm-hmm. The project's pivoted a lot. A lot of people still know it as kind of algo stable type project, but it's
that's not what I remember. I remember they were just bootstrapping in Latin America for
yeah, we're still doing that.
A long time, right?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, our app is still live over there, just helping people get access to U.S. dollars basically through stable coins and escape their local kind of hyperinflationary pressures that they.
It's Peter Thiel's thing, right?
Yeah, he was a seed investor.
Seed investor, right?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
This is your first ETH Denver?
Mm-hmm.
Have you been to Denver before?
I've been to Denver about 5 or 6 years ago. Definitely one of my favorite places though.
Because I grew up here.
Oh, really?
Not in Denver, but in Colorado.
Okay, nice. Yeah, it's one of my favorite places. I'm actually it's probably close to the top of my list on places to move. I live in New York right now, but
yeah, I'm moving there for the summer.
You're to New York?
Yeah.
Oh, okay, cool. Yeah, we should connect. I know Dave throws some stablecoin events and stuff. I think in New York City too. So we'll definitely connect at those and stuff.
So I'm living in Miami right now. My wife likes Miami in the wintertime, but not during the summer.
Yeah, that's fair.
And also, she wants to go to New York to work and stuff. There's more work for her up there. So we're going to go for 6 months. So we're going to bounce out in April.
That's good timing.
And just stay until into September.
That's good. I think that's pretty solid. I would say I like the spring and the fall in New York the best. The summer gets pretty hot, but
because I bought my place in Miami in 2021, and we can rent it out. It's on the beach. The good thing about Miami property prices is other places in the country, rents have come down. So if I was anywhere but Miami, maybe it'd be a little bit harder to rent. But I'm on Miami Beach.
Yeah.
And it's great. So
That's awesome.
I'm gonna be able to rent mine for a little bit more than my mortgage. And,
Beautiful.
And my HOA.
That's the goal, man.
I found someone to take it furnished for 6 months, and then I'm kind of negotiating a friend of a friend put me in touch with somebody who wants to go to London for 6 months, and so it looks like
a person in New York.
Yeah.
Okay, yeah, that's
Brooklyn.
perfect.
Yeah, Brooklyn. Yeah.
Oh, I live in Brooklyn. Where are you looking?
In Bed-Stuy.
Oh, okay. Yeah. I know where that is.
Yeah.
Nice.
For $2,500 a month for 2 bedroom.
That's easy.
I mean, it's a no-brainer.
Yeah.
It's a half an hour. Well, I don't know if Dave's even going to New York anymore because he was supposed to be going to. He said he had a flat share or he had a sublet in Greenpoint that he got all worked out for 12 months. But I don't know if he's going now. I picked New York because Dave was going there. I thought we could make a lot of content together.
Oh, okay, gotcha. Yeah. Well, hopefully he does another event. I know he did the stable salon or something over there at one point.
Well, he's supposed to be coming to Greenpoint for 12 months, but I don't know about that now. So
we'll have to ask him.
I think I hope New York would be good. I went there once when I was 13, and that was it. I haven't been there back since. So.
There's a lot going on, man.
Yeah.
I think you're gonna have a good time.
Yeah. You know what? It's just my life on Miami Beach is just so.
It must be nice. But you're gonna go back there in the winter, which is the best time anyway.
No, but I like the summer. I like the summer. So.
Really?
Yeah. But it's cool because it's a little different for my wife because she's she likes New York and it's where she wants to go. But for me, on the Miami Beach, I've joined a tennis club.
Nice.
I've got a really nice yoga studio that I go to. I've got a bike and I've got a longboard and I got everything that I need. And it's really enjoyable and I love going to the beach.
Yeah.
I can go to the beach literally every day and be totally happy. Different people like different things. I really love the beach. I was the one who picked it. My wife was mixed on it. But we're gonna go check out New York and I think next year we'll move to LA.
Nice. Kind of going everywhere. You're hitting all the spots.
We, my wife is, she immigrated here, so she doesn't seem like all the U.S. yet, like me.
Got
since
it.
I grew up here.
For sure.
And so,
Does it come yet or no?
oh, that's pretty cool.
Yeah.
Is that
That's
custom?
fly.
No, this is from the official store.
It's from the official. They have an official
Arizona store.
What?
I was like, I need to get a new coffee cup. But check out the Frx merch.
You're a big Arizona fan, aren't you?
A little bit.
Those are amazing.
Custom merch.
Boom, there we go.
Yeah.
Oh wait, so were you in the group with Jim?
No.
Jim?
No.
No,
No.
that's my other friend Adam.
So
So I left my stuff
Wait.
in Brazil, and Adam met Mike to get it, and then
Okay.
Adam flew back, gave it to Jim in New York, and Jim flew here, and then gave it to you.
Okay. Because it's Sahim, right?
Soham.
Soham.
Yeah.
Okay. And that means Jim's name. What was the name? I swore in this group that Dave put me in. There was the same name. I'm on that much sleep for today, so I got like the early morning flight out of Miami at like it's like a 5:45.
Did you land today?
Yeah, it's 5:45 flight.
Oh, wow,
and I
okay.
landed at like 8 o'clock.
Right. Yeah, I took a similar flight from New York a couple days ago. It was just like the crack of dawn.
So
It turns into a long day.
Yeah. Sorry, did you go to the event today?
Which one? DeFi Denver?
No.
Or the one that we were hosting?
The ETH Denver event.
Oh no, I wasn't actually at the event. I was just at the it started out at our hackathon that we're hosting at Catbird Hotel to like build some plugins, get some R tokens deployed, things like that.
That's cool.
And then I went to the DeFi Denver meetup, which was somewhere around here. It wasn't too far from here. And I was there till I came here.
Was it busy at the hackathon?
Yeah, I think we had about 25, 30 people, like core, like DeFi users there, grinding. I'm excited to see what comes of it. I really am. And we've got like, prizes and stuff going on for a couple of weeks too, not just today.
Yeah.
Right? So looking for that continued engagement moving forward. I think it'll be cool.
Because didn't they have a 2 weeks of hackathon before this, like a build-a-thon thing that they did?
Reserve?
No, just the ETH Denver thing. Like,
Yeah, they did Build Week.
Build Week.
I talked to a few devs just now, actually, who were involved in that. Some people doing the hackathon and stuff like that. But ours is independent of that.
yeah,
We're just hosting our own reserve-specific one.
yeah. I think I don't know. Hopefully, ETH Denver is good tomorrow. I mean, it's been a while since I've been to a conference.
So far, I mean, like the events have been good. Like I went to like a real-world asset tokenization event yesterday. Solid crowd. Had some good conversations over there.
It's like a full conference. I didn't realize like there's like conference events like every day.
Every
I thought
day.
It was like just at the end.
Every day, man. Every day. Today's a big day too.
Yeah.
I think there's our event, and then I think there's a few after ours. Like,
Yeah.
Were you impressed by the RWA stuff?
yeah, I think so. I think we had actually a couple people who were coming to our hackathon today from there, which was cool to see. People are doing a lot in that space right now. The tricky thing is like, it's the regulatory stuff. That's like the biggest question mark right now, and people are just kind of waiting for guidance on that because no one really
Yeah,
knows.
nothing's gonna happen unless regulation is there.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
It's just too much risk.
Yeah.
Because I worked at RWA company. I worked at a real estate company that was tokenizing like single-family homes, right? So,
Oh, interesting. Which one?
Realty.
I think I may have heard of them. There was a few companies that were doing that
So
with NFTs.
no, it's not NFTs. They were take a house and they like they take the equity and turn it into 1,000 tokens. And so what I saw from the RWAs was that it's really obtuse and it's really like not a great system,
Mm-hmm.
and especially on like ETH mainnet, it just doesn't work. Like, it's not that great
Mm-hmm.
because the cost the management costs are just high,
Mhm.
right?
Yeah.
You could go buy a REIT, right? On Robinhood,
Mhm.
pay 0% fees
Right.
and get pretty much the same thing. But the reason that people were buying it is that it was mostly foreigners who were using a Reg S exemption. So that like you're a guy, some random dude in France could buy some property in the United States.
Want some home exposure, yeah.
And
And then the weird thing is with those also, like where does the actual contractual liability and stuff lie, right? Like if that home was to be like foreclosed or something,
no,
like
what happens is they sell the equity.
So okay, you're only tokenizing the equity, I guess.
Yeah, you're only tokenizing the equity. You sell the equity.
So it's
out.
giving liquidity to the homeowner.
Yeah, kind of. Well, they would. So the realty guys had a big portfolio of property, and so I'm pretty sure they were just like tokenizing their own property. Their property portfolios. They would go buy it, and then they'd sell it onwards, or they do something where they'd like move it into their system and tokenize it. So like because they would have like custodial risk, because it may take them I don't know months to sell a property, right?
Yep.
So they would have to be like happy. They'd either have to have an agreement worked out with the person who's selling, or they would have this 3-month grace period to raise the capital to buy the house.
Yep.
Or they would have to just buy it outright and then take on that risk of the property.
Did you guys see there's an airdrop today for Prime?
For Prime, yeah.
How did you get the airdrop? Like,
Did you ever buy any of the Prime stuff?
I don't know.
Yeah.
I have like random friends getting the airdrop. I'm like,
Shit, a couple of my friends got $2,000.
Oh, from Prime?
Yeah. Buying the Prime keys?
Oh, is it Prime like from the game?
Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah.
Oh, it's like parallel cards.
Yes. Parallel cards.
Is it like if you ever owned a parallel
Yes.
card?
Yeah. Yes.
So,
Yes. You probably got a nice stash if you're buying parallel cards.
I was doing a lot of parallel card stuff in the beginning.
Really? Oh, you probably got a bunch.
I'm gonna run upstairs.
Go check it.
So the biggest thing about the RWAs, which people loved, which is the reason that they liked it so much, is that it would deliver stable coins to your address every single day.
Right.
Like you get a daily distribution of stable coins that you can then go and use.
Yep.
And people love that daily distribution. So normally when we're paying dividends, they're either like quarterly or monthly, quarterly, or semi-annually. But with what Realty did was they like just kind of like either did it daily. They were trying to figure out how to stream it, but it was too expensive on ETH.
Right.
To essentially say like, here's the most up to date. It's not up to date because they would receive it and then they pay it out over like the next month. Still, people like getting those small payments every single day.
For sure. Where'd you get that coffee?
There's a big coffee thing over there.
True.
Yeah,
You
you
gotta
take
unclip
it
this?
up. I got some good stuff.
Nice.
I hope you weren't like freaked out about
No. Check.
It's working.
Oh, nice.
Don't worry. Yeah, I grew up here, Colorado.
No way.
Yeah.
Do you still live in the area?
No, I moved to Miami.
Oh, that's
I'll be there in a couple months.
I know. It's great.
I lived in Miami for 3 years. It's wonderful.
Fucking love it.
I'm torn between I was in California before I moved to Vegas. Right now I'm torn between moving to Miami or back to LA.
I would pick Miami every single day of the week.
I mean, I've got family in LA, but Miami taxes though.
Well, look, you could do 6 months of the year and then like leave for the summer and go to LA. I mean,
Yeah.
that's the thing to do. The good thing about Miami is like the rental, like you just buy a place in Miami. It's hot right now. Everybody's moving there.
There's some stupid statistic about Miami real estate that it only ever had one down year in its entire history. And that
Really?
was like 2008.
Yeah.
Damn.
It's because the entire market is propped up by international Latin American
Yeah,
money.
yeah. They just come and they buy. Yeah.
And it's like they don't care what the price is because they're just like, I got to get my money out of Venezuela.
It's kind of like Iranians and Chinese in LA. Like so many of the buildings are just owned by like rich Iranian Chinese families who just want to park their money somewhere.
It's literally like they're like, all right, like what did you pay for it? It's like, all right, I'll give you like 20% more if I could buy it next week.
So I went to Argentina and like every other person that I talked to in Argentina was like, yeah, we got an apartment in Miami.
They're probably up too.
No, seriously, when I was renting in Miami, so my rent started at $2,500. I left in 3 years as a 29. I I checked it on listings to see like, oh, what's my unit going for these days? It's like 38.
Damn.
And I'd never met my landlord. Like, I basically paid his son in cash because his son was in America going to school. And like, it was just some Venezuelan guy who I'd never met, never talked to.
Damn.
When are you guys deployed? Did you already deploy on Optimism?
No, we haven't even announced it yet.
All right, okay.
You guys are some of the first people that know. This is alpha.
Yeah, you're in the top 20 people.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's an exciting alpha right there.
How big's our Discord?
It's called High. We're getting high on optimism. it's going to be a good time. Super memey. It's like the plan is to just be memey as fuck.
You guys are timing it right too, because Optimism is like popping off.
Yeah.
I've been trading some alts on there, and ever since, I mean, this year it's been really good, and then the fucking Coinbase announcement like blew it up.
Yeah. I randomly bought a bunch of Optimism right before the Coinbase thing, just because I was like, if we're going to do this fork, I should probably get involved with Optimism. You know, and like I was just telling Harrison earlier, like, it was one of my smaller bags, and like now it's like my third biggest bag after Bitcoin and ETH, just because of like how much it was going up. I was like, damn.
What's it at now?
I think like it was $3.
$3, yeah.
Nice
To
little.
start the year, that shit was wild.
Yeah,
Oh my god.
it's crazy times.
You don't own any Frax?
I do own some FrxETH. One of my really close friends, and honestly, like, he's the youngest, wealthiest person I know. He's like 21, but this kid's got like 10 million liquid just sitting because he's been working in crypto since he was 16, telling people that he was 20. He's lied about his age since he was 16 to work in the industry, and he's just been saving because he lived with his parents.
Wow.
You know, so like he's been like holding on to his money for so long, and FrxETH is like his biggest thing. He's always Frax pilling me all the, like, sending me threads and shit, like, oh, you should check this out. Like, oh, you're staking ETH and it's not through Frax. What the fuck are you doing? He's like, why would you do that? You're just leaving money on the table. Like, damn, dude. Like,
This guy knows. We should talk to him. We should
yeah.
you hear about this?
My friend, one of my friends is like constantly Frax pilling me and giving me, like, I told him I was staking ETH, and he was like, you're not staking on Frax, man? Like, you're just leaving money on the table. Why aren't you doing it through Frax? Like,
Is it Raza, right?
huh?
It's Raza, right?
Yeah, Reza.
Reza. Yeah, Reza's saying he's like the youngest, wealthiest person that he knows. He was like building when he was 16, investing when he was 16, and now he's 20. He's got like 10 million bank.
just sitting. Big Frax Maxi.
Maybe he is Frax Maxi. FrxMaxi.e.
Yeah. So you guys filming like a ETH Denver
Yeah.
little thing?
We just got this. They gave this to me, and this is get a bunch of B-roll for the site.
Nice.
He just wants you mic'd up so you drop your seed phrase.
Yeah. So I just chill.
Hey, what are 20
High on
words that you like
optimism.
a lot, Reza?
Bench, fork.
Maiden name. Wait, so is Amin gonna be helping out with your?
Yeah.
That's nice.
Yeah, I'm summoning. Kingfish is like integrations lead, biz dev stuff. Amin is advising / being the minister of propaganda. It should be fun. We're finalizing stuff with this dev team that we really like. Amin rye-pilled them a few weeks ago, and they just kind of fell down the rabbit hole and got really into it, so thought it'd be a good fit. We're probably going to announce it in Denver.
Yeah, that would make sense. Like today.
Maybe today, maybe tonight at the event. I don't know. We'll see how many drinks I have. Yeah, that's it. Who wants to get high? I'll be the new BitConnect guy. Get high!
Yeah, I was looking for that video to send you when I landed. I couldn't find it. It wasn't on Jiffy that I could find.
What do you type in to find Carlos Matos?
I don't know. I typed in BitConnect and it was just the hey version, but not the BitConnect. That's what I was looking for. I was like, oh, dude, can't do it now.
I kind of miss those days.
Yeah, like when the alpha was like stupid.
Yeah.
Before
Did you ever get into any of like the really obvious Ponzi's, like BitConnect? I never traded any of
I
them.
never touched it.
Ohm is the worst Ponzi I've ever touched.
Home in Time Wonderland.
Same.
That shit was out of bounds. That
I
shit
got
was out of
fucked.
bounds.
I guess that
It was so OB.
I made so much money on that shit and then lost so much money
Yeah.
on that shit.
I guess I did it one time. I think I just put in like $2,000 into. Remember when Arbitrum first launched Arby's? It was a very, very it was like the first token.
I've heard of Arby's, but I only recently, in the last couple months, started fucking around hard on Arbitrage.
Like I was pretty early, and the staking pools in Arby's when it first popped off was like in the 6-digit APRs.
Oh my god!
And I was like,
You gotta love it.
I gotta put in something here. And it was to the point where I put in $2,000, and the value, quote unquote, was going up about $100 every couple minutes.
She said, couldn't do it.
She couldn't do
Yeah, ETH Denver is not a valid excuse.
Sorry. Oh, to break for.
Yeah,
for land?
to start drinking again. So I'm gonna be a bit of a party pooper.
It's okay. What about can you eat some shrooms?
I can do everything else. There's no rule against that.
Well, you don't have to drink when you're in Colorado. You can.
That's right. That's
You know.
that's the fine print that's on the contract I have with Lent this year.
I think we walked by a couple of stores.
Oh, tight.
Yeah.
Yeah, the legal weed thing is throwing me for a loop.
Does it?
Yeah, it's cool.
What's cool is you can walk in and be like, I just want to do this. I want to party. I want to have a good time. And what do you got? Or I want some shit where I take 2 hits and I fall asleep.
Yeah.
You
And they'll help you out. I definitely don't want that. That's what I'm scared of. Is okay, everyone else is drinking. I want to get a little high or whatever.
Here in Denver, the best things that I've seen that I really like are they make these pens, right? Which every inhalation is dosed out. It'll stop.
Oh,
Hold,
that's perfect.
And then it'll stop.
Yeah.
Right? And so take one hit, it'll give you the exact thing.
It's measured out.
And it's all measured out. I don't know if they sell it here. I know my friend's sister had it down in Florida.
Do you have any idea what it's called?
No, you just go in and say look, I heard about these pens that have this dosed hit where you hit it and then it just it stops. It turns off.
Yeah.
And you're not gonna get too much, right? Because
That's exactly what I'm looking for.
Because some of the stuff here, you get fucking crazy.
That would be perfect.
My buddy brought these shroom chocolates.
Oh, jeez.
It came down from New York. It was actually super mellow. It was okay. So one piece was either I think it was a sixth or a quarter of an eighth.
Okay.
So normally if you want to get fucked up, you eat an eighth. This
Yeah.
was super mellow. You see one piece of chocolate. We ate we had a quarter of an eighth, right? This was it's a 32nd, right?
Mm-hmm.
And it's super mellow. I almost don't want to drink. I almost don't want to smoke weed anymore because weed kind of.
You have a little bit of the paranoia in the background.
Paranoid. I get antisocial.
Yeah.
Where I think too much in my head, but the shrooms were great because I took it, felt great, felt really nice, and I
That could
didn't
be pretty
drink or anything. I just wanted to enjoy the fucking.
Yeah, just be
vibes.
present. Yeah.
The vibe. It just made the vibes feel a lot really good. Because I've only done shrooms once before, and he was just yeah, take it. It's mellow, and it was I ate it. We had 2 beers at a bar, waiting for it to kick in, and then we went down to Miami Beach and just walked along the beach and eventually just stopped and stared at the clouds for a while.
Oh, tight. Yeah, and I've only done shroom 3 times. The first 2 times I did exactly what you said, did an eighth, and then my 3rd time I was oh, I'm a big boy, I can handle it, and I did 3/8.
I know.
And that was the last time I did shrooms. I couldn't handle that.
Yeah.
So I was that's enough for me. Never doing that ever again. I freaked. It was bad. Complete ego death, psychotic.
No.
Lost all sense of self. It was weird.
Oh, that's bad. It's like a bad version of a ketamine trip.
Yeah, exactly. I was definitely disassociated.
Yeah. At least with ketamine, you feel great afterwards. Did you go over to the event center today?
Yeah, I had picked up a pass and all that.
Was it good?
It was packed. Yeah.
Was there
We didn't actually Rez and I didn't actually go inside. We only did picking up the ticket, and we had to scram
right.
because we had to deal with all the logistics of this stuff.
So I'm gonna go tomorrow.
No, it was definitely popping. Like there was
Yeah.
tons of people like everywhere.
Projects and stuff.
Yeah, it looked good.
Talks.
Well, talks are going on. I had no idea if they were good. There's a bunch of stuff I wanted to see today, just didn't happen.
Yeah.
There's a lot of good stuff on stablecoins and regulation that I wanted to see.
Yeah.
It's like, look, I want to know what's going on and what people are thinking is like the likely outcome to all this stuff.
Oh man, I do a lot of research into that, and I read like the normie economists, like
Yeah.
the actual like
Mhm.
economists who work for the Fed and what they write.
Mhm.
And there's a bunch of different like variations, right? So either stable coins or some sort of like money market fund.
Which is, yeah, that's what I think is the cleanest box it sits in, is a money market
That's
fund.
pretty bad because then
Yes.
there's securities, right?
Yeah, they're-
but you could change it up in a way where like if you bring them into the banking system, then they become bank money and they're not
Bank
it's no longer-
assets,
yeah.
yeah.
Well, it's bank money, right? It becomes
Yeah.
like actual money instead of like quasi money.
Yeah, I think we're ready.
Tight.
And so,
This is too funny.
oh yeah,
Let's do it.
let's do it. Are we taking it back to your place, Dave?
Yeah, we're going to take it back to the hotel, just have it there, and then we'll wait. We can start loading there at 2:45. So
Okay.
we'll just like wait there and chill.
Yeah, this the last like Ethereum event that I went to was like I went to DEF CON
This is my first one.
in Cancun, like back in 2017, and then I think I did like something in Berlin as well too. But that was a long time ago.
That sounds pretty cool. Berlin must have been.
Many such cases.
Yeah.
It's a.
I'm a true believer now.
true believer.
Like-
The thing is like when you're, it's hard to like accept like wear a jacket and stuff up in the mountains, but like Miami when you just have a t-shirt, it's fucking like basketball shorts on. The only thing you can wear is a chain.
Yeah, exactly. It's like you want to dress up, just throw on a chain, like a black T-shirt and a chain and some jeans. Like congratulations, like you look like every rich guy in Miami.
Wait, so how did you get into DeFi?
How'd you get into Rye? How'd you end up working
Rye.
for Rye?
Right. So I mean, the story is I was in Miami working at a hedge fund, and I've always been big into crypto, but never had the time to like get it. Oh, sorry.
Yeah.
My bad, man. I didn't have time to like really dive headfirst into it, and coming from the finance background, a lot of what we did at the fund was carry trades, like interest rate spreads, and so that by definition got me into the money markets of crypto, which involves every stablecoin, right? And so philosophically, I had a big issue with centralization risks of Tether, right? That's where we all start. And then USD came about, and I thought, hey, that's a cool development, but not
USD?
really. USDC.
Oh, okay.
Then after Tether, we have USDC, and I said, hey, that's a really cool. It fixes a lot of the Tether problems, but still a centralized issuer. The same thing. And DAI comes around, and obviously it's trading off peg, which I just like had a.
What year is this?
This is like I guess end of 2020.
Oh, this is like during the March crash.
Yeah, so it's like that's when I went full bore. I was like, I got to buy that, right? And so remember, like those were the days immediately preceding those days was like DAI at $1.15, right? Like for like months where it was just way above peg. And I was like, the issue here is interest rates, and they don't know how to effectively tax is the wrong word, but subsidize the right actors to do the right thing, because it was a function of there's stablecoin demand was far outstripping demand for leveraged ETH, right? And so I was like, there's got to be a better way to do this, and I fell in with just the Discord on Reflexer back when Stefan and the original team was still like running it, and I just made myself involved, like just for free, like just shooting the shit with these guys, right? And then Stefan hops in my DMs, hey, do you want a job, right? And like I was like, sure.
Many such cases.
I was doing this for free. If you want to pay me, I was going to keep doing it for free. If you want to pay me, you can. And so I guess that's when I started part-time at Reflexer. And I guess it's like every month that goes by, I want to work in my traditional line of work less and less, and more in crypto more and more, right? And so
You're still working?
yeah, I'm still like in the finance game in Louisiana. I've tried to bridge that gap between finance and crypto, and you can half-ass two things or whole-ass one thing.
Yeah.
And I'm leaning more and more towards just whole-assing crypto.
Join us.
Yeah.
Join us.
Yeah. Yeah, Rez is roping me into getting high.
Yeah.
Well, I guess you can't air this before the announcement. So.
Well, I mean, getting high can mean a lot of things.
And I rope him into both kinds.
Yeah. And so I think that's just like an easy way for me to be like, all right, well, the opportunity's in my lap. I'd be foolish not to like give this
Jump
a
on it,
give it a good
you
shot.
went from working are like still working on traditional finance, to Rye, which is like the other side of the spectrum, like decentralization, prioritize, unpeg, no peg, all this stuff.
I fell in love with the mechanics of like, hey, like here is because a lot of DeFi is just recreating traditional finance. Frankly, I mean, like it's the way I've told it to people in traditional finance is all DeFi is a bunch of really smart computer nerds found an Econ 101 textbook on the ground and just went full hog, right? But like Reflex was really the first thing I saw. I was like, this does not exist. This is a new invention, and that just tickled me so much. I just had to get involved.
Tickled your fancy.
It did. I was like, this is novel. Whether or not it's a product that like got the traction I think it deserves is not really the point, because like I thought it was just so cool I had to get involved.
Yeah.
So it really is like the hipster thing among like the stablecoin crowd, but I love it. I love it.
Reflection came out of DAI after they swapped from Psy to
Yeah, and so like, yeah. So Amin is really the person to get to talk about this because he was there, on the maker forums, at the beginning, right? He was there for all of this, and him and Nikolai, he could tell all this story a lot better than I can. Basically talked about like we need a way to induce negative interest rates to make the market do what to encourage stability in the market, and there's no mechanism for DAI to do that, or most any other collateralized stablecoin product out there, and a lot of it has to do with what your collateral is the limiting factor, the constraint on leverage demand, right? Because all DAI is a debt instrument on levered ETH, or levered whatever collateral they'll let you. Yeah. And so USDC was their stopgap approach to like, oh, here's how we're going to fix this, right? And sure, they did fix it. It's back on peg. But what demon did they introduce? The U.S. government can come into Circle and say, hey guys, blacklist the DAI address.
It's the DSM vault.
Right.
It's the DSM vault. Yeah.
And if that happens, all of a sudden the true price of DAI is now what, like 70 cents, right? And so like, you can't have that. It was not a risk I felt the market was sufficiently paying me to take. Was the way I'd say it. The whole DAI, right? And my belief is even more firm now after the Tornado Cash shit, and the posturing that Gensler is doing, where.
Yeah, but the Tornado Cash is different in that it broke the chain of custody. So like 90% of what the government wants to do is just
yes. No, I hear you, but the government never when they find a new tool. They don't use it once and said, hey, that was great, right? We don't need to use that again. We dropped 2 nukes, right? One wasn't good enough. So I don't trust that the government will stop in its new enforcement mechanisms. And I think we'll see more. And so when I think about my risk-adjusted return on a stable, to me, Rye seems like a very good option, given that everything else has that kind of like evil empire government backdoor vector to be attacked.
But what about like Rye versus like LUSD or something?
So LUSD came out pretty much the same time Rye did, right? And so they both have good censorship resistance, but the trade-off with LUSD is how do they accomplish maintaining the peg on the downside is by socializing everyone's vaults together. And so you no longer have explicit control over your CDP at all times. And so that was not something I'm willing to give up. First of all, at a personal level, that is a tax implication, right? You wake up one day and all of a sudden your debt position is wholly changed. Congratulations, you have a tax bill.
Right.
And no one ever talks about that. And I was like, well, I'm not going to sign up for that. Yeah. And I don't like the idea of socializing losses across the entire protocol.
LUSD is the best way to buy ETH.
Yeah, that's a good way to think about it.
Yeah.
Right, is like participate in those auctions, and there you go, you're getting discounted ETH.
Yeah, where you're getting it when liquidations happen, which is always with like the worst prices, right?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, for sellers, and the protocol forces sellers that are not insolvent.
Yeah.
And so to me, like, look, I don't want to badmouth anyone in the industry because I think all progress is good progress. In where we are in the ecosystem development of stablecoins, crypto at large, right? But to me, it's just you put the big stablecoin matrix up there, and the Rye values align with my personal values in a way that no one else does. So that and lo and behold, here I am. I now work for them.
What does the Rye world order look like? What is the world of Rye adoption?
So again, I'm gonna call back to Amin again, because it is a waste of time having me answer this question when like you can hear it from the messiah of Rye, right? Like,
Seems busy right now.
yeah. Look, there is an anarchist vibe to what we're doing, but the end goal is not anarchy. The end goal is
Anarchy never lasts long.
no, it never lasts long. Anarchy is a means to an end, which is if you believe the current system is irreparably flawed, right? Anarchy is a way to jumpstart the system into something else. And so what is it that we think is irreparably flawed? It's that the term I use is weaponized money, where government powers now, through the transcendence of cash being what we used to have in our wallets, to cash is now credit cards, debit cards, bank accounts, Venmos, all this other stuff, is that cash has been weaponized to where the government can single anyone out or a group of people out and just turn off their ability to transact and participate in an economy. And that's just on the individual level. And then they have on the macro level everything they do at the Federal Reserve, basically propping up an ever-existent system of too big to fail institutions that may or may not be worthy of having their status as a big institution, right? And so to me, crypto is a better, faster, stronger engine of economic transfer, right? And generation, frankly. And so it's like, what is it that stands in the way of crypto success? It's cronyism entrenchment vis-a-vis central banking, right? And so Rye is kind of the rallying cry of burn it down, anarchy. Like we've created our own Fed. There is a robot crypto Fed at Rye doing things outside of human control that humans can no longer fuck with.
Robot
Right.
crypto Fred. That's pretty cool.
And so like that's kind of the ethos of like why is it that we're doing what we're doing? It's we want to have this credible optionality to say I don't want to participate in that system. I'm going to participate over here, and the team invented it, right? And to me that's incredible and something that needs to be fostered.
And like Rye is like absolutely decentralized, right? Like contracts are announced, like nothing can be changed.
No, it's kind of when have you ever heard of a government taking away its own powers, right? And that's what the Reflexor governance did, is that we were like, all right, we're all voting to make sure we can't ever vote on this again.
I hope Frax gets there someday.
Yeah, me too.
Yeah, that would be great. Just to like.
No, there's not just you and me, but like a good amount of people.
And look, Amin has some great hitter points on like just the idea of the way money works in our society anyway. We internally call it the multi-generational Ponzi of just like fiat currency creating money out of nothing. And it's like the reason so many of us are not in the streets protesting and burning down cities is because if you look at a multi-generational Ponzi, chances are you're in the good times. It's only one group of people has to deal with the bad times. In America, at least. Go to South America, and it's seemingly every generation has to deal with the Ponzi. And so it's only a matter of time, in our opinion, until the good times end. Like every empire in all of human history has eventually fallen, right? So, by participating in the U.S. dollar, you take the bet that it's not going to fail today, it's not going to fail tomorrow. Maybe that's my grandchildren's problem, it's not mine. And so we build and kind of operate with the assumption that we need to build the insurance policy today. Rye is not the final answer, but it is part of that ultimate solution of like, okay, let's make sure we can build a robust system using new tools that crypto has given us. That's, I guess, my diatribe. Sorry to go off the rails here.
So like, is High just going to take in like all different types of collateral?
So yeah, so the difference. So what are the things about Rye that makes it Rye?
So it's like moving from single collateral DAI to multi-collateral DAI.
Exactly.
Right?
So it's like so single collateral DAI was the invention of the CDP and crypto, right?
Yeah.
And then multi-collateral DAI was like, let's get a little bit more fast and loose, but like.
I think they I don't think you didn't come until 2020, right?
No, this is my first crypto meetup.
So I think a lot of the issues with switching from Psi to multi-collateral DAI was that like the peg was really bad
For Psi or DAI?
for Psi.
Yeah, no
All
doubt.
over the place. It would, like, it would go up, it would go below, like, and it would go up a lot. It would go to like $1.15, right? Or it would go down to 95 cents. And that was, I think they didn't like that volatility in the.
That's not the point, right? The
Yeah,
point is to be $1, right? Yeah.
And so eventually they just capitulated and said, oh, hey, we're going to allow for USDC to die so that we can maintain a tight peg. And that was the end of the volatility peg.
Yeah. The PSM was the end of volatility. Remember, before the PSM existed, there was just USDC vaults.
Yeah.
And I remember in late 2020 just arbing the shit out of that.
Yeah.
Where that I think that was back in the day of like $6 die, $8 die. And I was like, this is like free money, right? Like all I have to do is beat what was it, like a 2% stability fee. So as long as it gets back into peg in less than 50 years or so, like I should be able to get out okay on this. And so yeah, it definitely solved the problem, but what did it introduce, right? And so is there a way to solve that problem because it's not about whether it's at $1, $1.15 or 85 cents or 90 cents, whatever it is. It's about stability, right?
Well, the issue is that like when you're a debt product that is entirely dependent on a high volatility asset like Ethereum.
Yeah.
Right? Like the debt contractions that happen are very bad and disastrous towards liquidity.
Yeah, and circulating supply and liquidity.
Yeah.
Yes, absolutely.
So you sacrifice liquidity in the name of having this more decentralization. So.
And look, Rai's experienced that exact same thing, right? Because Rai liquidity is, not great compared to every single other option out there.
Yeah.
And so, why is that the case? That's the case because this product is harder to understand, right? So Rai is it's pretty easy to understand, how a maker CDP works, right? Like you can teach yourself that in 30 minutes, be like, okay, I conceptually understand what's going on here. When you jump from that to Rai, people's eyes glaze over because there's like, all right, wait, there's two prices, there's all these rates, there's like, in the system there are, 3 different rates, there are 2 different prices, it's stable, but it's not pegged, like I don't understand. And so if you look at the participants who have minted Rai, what we've noticed is that their vault size tends to be higher, they tend to be stickier, but they tend to be very difficult to win, right? And so like this is not a product as it stands today that makes sense for us to like go wide and shallow and just like get the product out there, come use Rai, blah, 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 blah. Because like most people, it's a product not for most people is what we found. Unfortunately, I wish more people thought of using Rai. It's more of a product for people who have a deep understanding of crypto and have enough finance knowledge to understand why they would want to use Rai. So one of our famous things that we talk about is Vitalik himself using Rai, and him just shorting ever-living shit out of Rai, right? Because that's what he was supposed to do, right? Like it was back, like the example was like when DAI was trading at $1.15, you're supposed to short DAI. You're supposed to mint a bunch of DAI and sell it, right? Short it. And Rai, was the controller of Rai was telling you it is time to mint and sell Rai to a tune of like 15% APR. And so Vitalik hopped in there, at the same time he released his blog post, he opened up a safe and dropped like a bunch of ETH, like a significant amount of ETH. It was either very high 6 figures or low 7-figure USD worth of ETH, and minted a ton of Rai and just sold it and made like 10%. Yeah. And all he did was use the protocol as the protocol was intended, right? And so we found there's like a lot of users like that who are like deep into the space, understand it, and want to, see that like, hey, there's a big opportunity for me personally to make money by following what the protocol wants to do. And the Reflexer system is set up such that we believe humans are going to do what they're incentivized to do, right? And so if you align incentives the correct way, that induces stability, then we've won, right? And so all the the FTX blowups aside, where ETH volatility goes.
Tell me about Reserve.
Reserve is a platform for asset-backed currencies. It's basically anyone.
You don't talk to the camera. Just talk to me.
It's a microphone.
I know, but you don't have to change it up.
Sorry, of course not.
Just be normal.
It's a asset-backed currency platform, so anyone can come in and deploy a stable currency backed by.
Yeah, that'll be up here.
Why did you choose?
I spent many years thinking about how money works, and lots of philosophies led to the idea that currency should be non-political, should cross borders, and that maybe there's a way to not inflate over time. And I studied that for 5 or 6 years, and then saw Reserve were way ahead of me, their thinking, and were executing it patiently, slowly, and gently, with a plan that we hope to be around for 10, 20, 50 years, a century. Like it's an experiment that's worth
What
doing.
about you guys had your on-site this week, right?
Yep,
How's everybody?
it's good. It's
So
just,
the whole team's gonna be here tonight, right?
the whole team's here. So, I think 18 of us here.
Wow, it's a lot.
Yeah, so you've got all the engineers, all the biz dev, all the product team, you've got community managers.
You know what's weird is like when you just stare at somebody's face in Zoom, they look weird. They get it's like flat, right? And then you like see somebody in 3D and you're like, oh man, like
So they're a real person.
you're like a real person. You look different.
Yeah, and you've got hobbies and families, and you can. I'm a big fan of remote working, but to actually be in person, you can assist each other in so many ways, so differently. So yeah, it's been a pleasure.
Yeah.
A good one.
But what do you like about Colorado?
So again,
What do you like about Colorado?
it's the home of South Park. Not only that, it's beautiful. Like skiing's my passion. So in a week's time, I get to see mountains for the first time.
You're gonna go to South Park. It's fucking small. It's
Yeah,
it's
and it's
like
a little
10 houses.
mountain town. But beyond that, people are good. Venues are amazing. And I'm looking forward to exploring it the weekends a bit more.
You going to the Breckenridge thing?
Yes,
Yeah.
yes, and yeah.
Okay.
It'll be the one time of the year I'm up at 7 a.m. just to get to the slopes.
Yeah,
you know?
exactly. It's so nice.
So yeah, he's 10 minutes.
Cool.
What do you think about Frax?
All the team I've met so far are fantastic, and I've been sort of playing around with the concept a bit. I have been a bit sort of head down on what we're up to recently, so I'm a casual understander of Frex so far, but so I'm not going to be the best help on that one.
Oh, cool. All right. That's enough B-roll.
Cool.
All together.